All right, everybody. We are back. Coming up is our final talk of the night with Nerd Night return speaker Will Tarkington. You may have caught his talk in December about AI, but this one is going to be quite different from the previous. So Will Tarkington is a former practitioner of street hustle psychic techniques and has given training sessions in the art of appearing to be psychic to audiences around the United States. Drawing on his unique experience, he will reveal the secrets behind successful psychic readings and demonstrations. So everybody give it up for Will Tarkington.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a clicker?
Yes. Here. This should
Click.
Yes.
It does click. Look, I want to be clear right away. I made AI do all the artwork, so it's fantastic. You will see some strange things coming in this talk. Before I get started, I have a question that I want to ask all of you, and that is, how many of you would presume by my appearance, ignoring my shirt, that I was a devious, manipulative person? Like 2. It's good odds for me, really, honestly, for looking about it. Okay, go forward. No, that's backwards. I'll figure it out. There we go. All right. Again, AI made this. I don't actually know what it says. But we'll be talking about mostly why we're susceptible to this type of manipulation, then how we actually use it against our people, and then ultimately I'll be like, and this is how it works. And I'll show you, because it's really simple. And then my wife asked me, so you're going to tell them how all of it works, and then you're going to try to make them think you're psychic? And I was like, fair point. No, we're going to have a talk about that, but it'll be fun, I think. Maybe. There we go. Ooh. That's fantastic. Just read the words. They're my favorite part. So there are essentially 3 biases that people like me look for and attempt to interact with. The first one is called the Forer effect, and sometimes called Barnum statements, but usually the Forer effect. And the Forer effect is really just like vague statements that you will internalize as being accurate. And the reason you do this, of course, is because your entire life you have been evaluating absolutely everything through the lens of me. Me. How do I relate to that? Am I interested in that? Is that fun? Do I like it? I don't know. But that's why. So that's like the first bias, is that if I say something very vague, like, you seem like you're a pretty outgoing person, but you could also spend some time being quiet. You'll be like, oh yeah, man. Nailing me. It's like he sees my soul. I think almost everybody at this point is aware of confirmation bias, right? Everybody knows what it is. You still don't know what it is, because it is the most insidious bias in human nature, the confirmation bias. And it slides in everywhere. And the best part about it is you normally don't know. Your brain automatically is doing it. Am I too loud? All right. Anyway, but your brain is automatically doing it to you. You can't stop it, and you don't know what's happening typically, which is why they have to teach critical thinking. Right? Because if this bias didn't exist, we wouldn't need that. Right? We'll get into that. And then my personal favorite is subjective bias. And this is the bias that most people probably are least familiar with out of all of them. And the subjective bias is that you will remember things that are important to you and forget things that aren't, and then start to build self-defense mechanisms around them because they're important. And what does that really mean in the case of psychics? It means that when I get something right, which we call a hit, you'll be like, oh, that was amazing. You will not remember the 60 questions that it took me to find that. You'll be like, that was what he knows. He knows things. It's not true. It's fun, though. So how do those biases come to play, and what are the techniques that we use? People love figuring people out, so there's like a bunch of psychiatrists and sociologists and various other people that find people like me and then ask us very pointed questions. Usually, how was your home life when you were a child? My particular favorites are the rainbow ruse and cold reading. Those were my bread and butters. That's what I focused on when I was on the street. So I've already demonstrated Barnum statements, but Barnum statements can get weird because depending on who you see and what you're looking at and how you feel about yourself that day, you can make Barnum statements into crazy things. Like, I feel like you're really angry at your dog. Like, not all the time, but like, yeah. And then people are like, I mean, he is kind of an asshole. I know. And then rainbow ruses are essentially just like bookend statements that encompass two traits at the same time so that the statement has to be true, but said in a way that doesn't seem like it. So like, you seem like you're really outgoing, but you can also, like I did that one earlier, right? But you could also spend some time alone. But the other way to, but the more interesting versions of these usually come out as, I feel like you're a very driven person, but sometimes you need extra motivation. No. Like somebody actually did that on me. Somebody was being a fake psychic to me, and that was his line to me. And I was like, no, dude, other way around. Got it wrong in one. Cold reading is essentially just making wild-ass guesses about people based on what you see. Literally all it is. It's like, it's actually not wild-ass guesses. We would be really crappy at our job if it was wild-ass guesses. It's statistically appropriate guesses. Psychics are statisticians. We memorize facts, and then we walk around and we think about those facts in the context of you, who are in front of us. Worm readings is the ability to use sort of something you got ahead of time or is contextual. So like I could say like everybody's here for Nerd Night, so I could make like an assumption about that, and that would be worm reading because that's like something I know, and it's nothing about you. It could also be like, I don't know, I saw your name tag. It's my favorite. Like they do it in movies, but it's real sometimes. Just like literally see somebody who's having like a really like short-staffed day and they're just like super busy and just be like, just introduce, just say hi to them to their name before they have a chance to greet you and watch them stare at you like you're a mystic. It's so much fun. Hot readings are when you have somebody who is feeding you the info. So like plants are a good one. Like I used to have a person that would go before me and talk to people and then learn things and then come back and be like, okay, the guy in the red jacket, okay, the girl with this on, and then I could just walk up to them and be like, you work at that dealership, don't you? And you hate your boyfriend. 20 minutes, right? This is my favorite one because this says nothing and I have no idea what the hands are for. It's great. Anyway, so these are stage tricks. These are the tricks I don't know as well because I wasn't a stage guy, but if you've ever watched Crossing Over with John Edwards because you're old like me, these will seem very familiar to you. But almost all stage show, they all involve shotgunning, and shotgunning, we'll do in a little bit. It's pretty fun. Then there's the rule of three, which is like you guess the thing, and then you guess it again, but in a slightly different way, and then you guess it like again in a slightly different way, and people are like, all those things are true and they're separate. That's what your brain does. Reinforcing hits using synonyms to validate prior statements. You'll see this a lot in the conversations where they'll be like, this is true, isn't it? Yeah. And it's also true that this is true because it's a synonym. Yeah. And it's true that this synonym is the same as the synonym I just used, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. It's real, man. I'm telling you. All right. Where are we going? So there are rules to being psychic. And the rules are two. There are two rules. It's not hard. It's really not hard. The first rule is when in doubt, stick to the big four. Money, career, love, and health. Almost exclusively, if somebody is going to talk to you and actually believe you might be psychic, one of these things is important to them. Probably all of them, but at least one. And then, like I said, we play statistics. Like we're statistical. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't done this in 20 years, and I did not update my statistics table in my head. I'm not doing that for you guys. 20-minute talk, no, thank you. So the statistics I'm pulling from are probably pretty old, but I bet you they'll still work. All right, so we're going to do a demo. A couple of demos, actually. So we're going to start with the shotgunning one because I already have it prepped up in my head. And if this goes poorly, I haven't done it in 20 years. All right. So this is how we're going to play this game. You know how I do what I do. So just be honest, because all you're going to do is raise your hand. I'm going to ask a question. If it's true, you're going to raise your hand. If it's not true, don't raise your hand. If it continues to be true, you continue to have your hand raised. That's how we're going to work. Everybody agree to the rules? Awesome. How many people here? Wait, like if I was doing this like a psychic, I'd be like, I feel something. I feel something. It's true, though. It's really weird. I might do that once for you guys, just to show you that like actual performance side. But first we're going to do it this way. How many people here drive an SUV? How many people have a blue or black SUV? I have 2 people now. This is how shotgunning works. Looks impressive, right? 2 questions in, and he knows so much, right? And then I would do something like, whose vehicle was bought for utility? Is your hand still up? And I'm left with 1. Right? Oh, 1 more? Oh, I missed you over there. For utility. Fair enough. How many of that is your job? And now I'm down to 1. 5 questions. 5 questions in. You can put your hand down now. Everybody knows it's you. Great. But now I know a lot of things, right? I know he has a truck or an SUV, and I know he uses it for work, right? So now statistically, what is the most likely job he has given an SUV? And you would say construction is probably number 1. Not construction. Now, landscaping might be up there. Somebody's guessing landscaping. Now it's Jeopardy. Is it landscaping? No, not landscaping. Where else would I go with that? Maybe. Well, I wouldn't actually guess. So, let's see. It's been a long time. Hold on. Let me figure out how I circle this drain. Is it contract work? Yeah, see, that's construction. You can do like interior designer. All right, well, I don't really actually want to win this game, but you saw how easy that was, right? Like super easy. That's all it takes. Oh, right, I was doing the demo because I don't have any more slides. So I'd say I was doing shotgunning. Now I forget what order I was doing them in. So I have to go back and look at them because I was doing shotgunning because that was an easy one. I think I was going to do warm reading next, maybe. Warm reading. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not doing the rule of three. Like, I'm doing like a bunch of different ones, but you're doing warm reading now, which is like, who here has a relationship to the letter B? Anybody with like a B name? Okay. No? Okay, like you can't even agree amongst yourselves. Okay. Is it related to the woman next to you in some way? I'm astounding. Okay. You also have a B, right? You have a B too. All right. Is yours related to a dog? No. All right. Is yours related to a dog? No? All right. Fair enough. You remember, you're going to forget all the misses. Like, you got to remember, like, you're going to forget these things. If I was doing this correctly, and you believed in me, which you shouldn't. All right. Is either one of them related to an education facility? All right. How about a hospital or the medical field? No. That's statistically unlikely. Let's see. Either one a relative? Okay, now we got a relative, right? Now I just got to guess, like, bee name. What was the year that bees were popular in names? Can't tell if it's a boy or girl yet, so could be like younger? No. Older? Bill? No. I don't know a lot of male bee names, actually. Bernard? Nah, it's like unlikely to be Bernard. It could be, but is it Bernard? That would be. It's not Bernard. Barney? I don't know. I would have memorized a lot more bee names. It's fine. Again, this is just showing you the demonstration. But I suppose I should get one win in here, right? Like just to prove a point. Well, yeah, I did. That is true. That is true. All right, who wants to do cold reading? You, all right. You know what? Get up here. Mostly because my statistics are roughly his age. All right. Trying to think of what the opening hook is. Let's see. It's a long time since I've done this. All right. You seem like a pretty happy guy, right? Pretty happy. Having a good life? Yeah? You know, you can be verbal. You can say yes or no. You don't have to, like, just be silent. I mean, it's fine. You can be. It's just interesting. It's a choice. Yeah? Career's going well? Sure. Strong. Yeah? Yeah? Good life achievements recently? Yeah. Yeah. In the last 3 years or so? Oh. Personal, though, not work related, right? Yeah, personal. Family related? Oh. Do you have a grandbaby? No. So close. Did you have a child? Did your child graduate high school? Damn. Statistically just screwing this thing up. Is it related to your child? That helps. Let's see. Kind of. Is it your achievement?
You could say so, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Did it involve sports? No, I didn't think so. Didn't think so. If it did this in the performance, you guys would be just like amazed. You'd be like, holy shit. Let's see. So, life achievement the last 3 years, maybe retired. No, not so lucky. Me either. That's why I'm doing this. Engaged. Dang. No. So, by the way, normally when you do this, they talk back. They're like, oh yeah, it was a life achievement. It was this. Or, you know, they're excited to engage and they want to do things. It's
The opposite.
kind of the opposite. I'm just telling you like how it actually normally goes. It's not a joke. That's usually how it goes. This is it just makes it extremely hard when you're cold reading to try to like guess a specific thing. But I'm just work at it. Let's see, how much longer do I have? I have a time limit. That's the best part. Let's see. Are other people proud of your achievement?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Pay off your house. All your friends and family are amazed.
Not my kids so much.
Not your kids so much. Is it education related? God damn. It's not going to be health related, is it? Did you quit smoking? No, I didn't think so either. Didn't pay anything off. Didn't quit smoking. It's not really health related or education related. There's not a lot of places left to go, really. Didn't.
Got rid of something.
You got rid of something. You sold a boat. No? Got rid of a wife. One time he said something. That is it. That is all it took me. Anyway. Thank you for the lifeline. I'm being honest with you. Like, normally when I do it and somebody's actually into it, because I'm obviously doing it on somebody I want to extract money from, as opposed to a person who's just like, this is cool. Usually a little more interactive. Give me a little more. Right? Anyway. So, questions. So like this goes into the philosophy of this stuff. So, you know, I label myself as a fake psychic because there are no real psychics. I'm sorry if you believe that, you're wrong. And I'm just honest with you because you just watched me like demonstrate those things that make what those people do. They're just fake people. Anyway, I did it out of necessity, right? And it was particular, like I had a whole bunch of rules. It was really ridiculous. Tricking people out of their money, but I was like, but I won't talk to dead people. I won't talk to ghosts. Like I won't do the grief thing. Like, and I won't do curses. Like the other thing that's really big when you're the psychic people. You're like, you're cursed. You have to buy this $50 candle. I didn't want to do any of that. So what I did was just make friends with people, convince them I knew things, and then give them good life advice, and get paid for it. So I found a way to make money. I went into comedy, actually. So this is like the psychic performance bit, and then went into stand-up comedy and was so good at that I network in computers. But that's why I stopped. I mean, it was fun. It was fun training the FBI and stuff. Like, that was cool. But that's kind of the last time I did it. Anyway, any other questions? Amplitude, mostly. There are a couple things you need to be a good psychic, right? And that's basically the mastering of those kind of skills that I mentioned earlier. And then there's a couple things you need to be a great psychic. And a great psychic needs to be horrendously perceptive and horribly observant and think ahead a lot. So, like, I was a very perceptive kid, and I would just notice things, and I would say, oh, you're doing that. That must mean this. And they'd be like, holy shit, how did you know? I just did. And it just snowballed from there. And it became a means of money. And I was like, well, this is cool. I can eat now. Life is good. I love life. Any other questions? Not particularly. Like, James Randi was cool. Like, but he's a lot more like me, where he's like, don't believe us. We are lying, horrible people. And that's just what we are. But he did a lot of studies on it. Like, it was really interesting. So he did studies where he took his psychic friends out, his fake psychic friends, and he gave a bunch of readings, and then he took the transcripts of the readings back to the people, and then he read that, and he was like, okay, so what do you remember? And he tallied it all up, and it was about 80% of the misses were gone, or no, 80% of the hits were remembered, and 0 misses were remembered. I love the subjective bias. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. Any other questions? Yes. What? Oh, yeah. This is so I was telling him. He hit me up last week. He was like, can you come give a talk on this? And I was like, sure. But I was going through my performance clothes, and I literally could only find this one. And so I was like, okay, I'll just wear it. And then I totally forgot I had it on. And I've been walking around here, and people have been looking at me all strangely. And I'm like, why are you looking? Oh, right. But yeah, no, I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist because I get bored. And I like skills. And I thought, what does this do? And I know what it do now. I used to have a practice. It was pain management. It's one of the things that hypnotism is really good for. So I would take people on heavy doses of pain medication because of, some sort of systemic illness or some sort of accident, and I would help them turn their pain down with a doctor's help, so that they wouldn't have to take as much medication, and then they could actually do things, as opposed to be like, I am just so high on opioids that I cannot move for the rest of my life. It was good times. Yes.
Is that real? And then the second one is that Dr. Tarkington, becoming more integrated into Western medicine, where you get recommendations from doctors like acupuncture is now kind of getting integrated into Western medicine.
Yeah, so is hypnotism real? That was the first question. Yes. Do we know what it is? No. And is it being adopted more into Western medicine? It is, because it has clinically provable effects, right? So we can definitively say certain things, right? And so, to explain hypnotism in really fast, because this is not what my talk is about. Apparently I'm coming back to do that talk. Hypnotism is a real hyper state of focus, and all of you do it all the time. If you've ever been doing something and somebody said your name and then said your name and then said your name and then touched you and you went, what? You were hypnotized. That's all it is, right? It is a mechanism to allow your executive functions to tune out distractions to hyper focus. It's very useful if you are looking in the bushes for food. specifically an animal that you are planning to hunt. So that focus is a natural part of your physiology, right? And it's weird that we can invoke it. Like, that's a little strange, like that I can sit down and work with you and then eventually get you to that state, but that's all it really is. And so the interesting thing about it is that it removes a bit more of the executive function into the I forget what it's called because I haven't talked about that in years either. But the conscious part, I forgot what they call it, but where it's not regulated anymore subconsciously, like your heartbeat or whatever, right? And breathing. It moves some of those functions down, right? And that's the reason it's so effective, is because essentially we can be like, you know how you're processing this through your frontal lobe and you're an anxiety-ridden, neurotic person? I mean, not you, me. Right? We can take some of that away from you and get and it's really good at habits. It's really good at like breaking habits. That's why smoking is always the thing you hear people about, is because it's really good for being like, you know that thing you do this instead. Because it's getting into that lower executive function, right? And attacking it there. But yeah, anyway, cool. All right, I'm gonna go. Thank you.